Hello. Today in this video we're gonna be playing many games. So let's just go. Get right into it. So there's gonna be free games. I'm gonna be playing So I'm just gonna be playing Project Kaiju Horizon 5.0 and Kaiju Universe. The first one I'm gonna play is Kaiju Universe. The very popular game.
Identical twins
the very popular
perfect natural experiment because each individual
the very popular Kaiju game in Roblox.
In every cell of its body.
So let's go.
The perfect way to tell nature from nurture.
We're recruiting 21 pairs of identical twins with very different backgrounds for this study. We're going to take advantage of new technology and new methodology that's going to allow us to investigate metabolism in a very comprehensive way and show people the power we have at the end of our course. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the orientation. Come join us. My name is Christopher Gardner. I have a PhD in nutrition science. I've been here for 30 years. For many of those years, I've been feeding and bleeding people for a living. And recently, I started feeding, bleeding, and pooping people. Because now we are into the microbiome. So, we have
in the background, I just have my mom seeing a documentary.
About me, Julia Malera? Are you really talking about me?
Dang Abbott, he's a little jerk. I'm at the top tier right now.
It's not like, oh, we have a super cool diet, and one of you has to do the lousy diet. We've actually designed them to both be positive impact on all of your health. Okay, we're gonna, for the first 4 weeks, deliver food to you. You're supposed to eat just what we mail you. For 4 weeks, we've got a delivery service that will be providing all the food to the twins. That means we'll know exactly what they're eating because we will have provided all the food to them. And then, for the last 4 weeks, you're supposed to go cook on your own. And this is less rigorous because you won't be able to do it as good as when we mailed it to you. And after 4 weeks, they're going to make and buy their own food. This is more like the real world when we don't have as much control over that aspect of their lives. The study aim here is to investigate the impact of you guys on these two different diets for cardiovascular health, metabolic status, and the gut microbiome. And these two different diets will be, are you ready? Vegan versus omnivore. High in fiber, high in probiotics, high in phytochemicals, high in antioxidants, low in saturated fat. The most recent nutrition research suggests some benefits to eating a plant-based diet. But some now, and these two different diets will be, are you ready? Vegan versus omnivore. High in fiber, high in probiotics, high in phytochemicals, high in antioxidants, low in saturated fat. The most recent nutrition research, some benefits to eating a plant. But some nutrients, like calcium, iron, and protein, are easier to from meat and dairy. So for the next 8 weeks, we'll be investigating the pros and cons of a healthy diet that contains meat and dairy versus a healthy diet without either. Some nutrients like calcium, iron, and protein are easier to get from meat and dairy. So for the next 8 weeks, we'll be investigating the pros and cons of a healthy diet that contains meat and dairy versus a healthy diet without either of them.
That sounds like both lousy diet.
Pam is not as, Pam is not a big meat person. Yeah. Where I, if steak was not unhealthy to consume every single day, yes, I would eat steak.
Okay, this one is that was the carrots. Okay, that's the
We both chefs, and we do corporate catering and private catering. I've never been on a plant-based diet. I've consumed, Impossible Burgers. I've also never been on a plant-based diet, but I find customary because you're not answering properly.
I am answering
Okay.
it. This is what it's for.
Okay, you do it then.
Okay, alright then, that's
Okay.
okay.
All right then.
Okay, during these 8 weeks, we're gonna get some poop and blood. That looks like stool, right?
Well, I'm counting the time. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that count right?
There's a lot of poop.
That's
Yeah,
a lot.
because it's at home.
So you don't need two people.
Don't need 2 people?
One person.
No, wait, now you're confusing me. 2 people? Oh, no. You don't have to be there to catch the poop.
Growing up as identical twins was, without a reference, I didn't grow up without one, but what I can say is we always had somebody to play.
Like things like this. I need some time alone. I'm just gonna go take a walk by myself. Come on, Tony, let's go.
Well, show me some of the cheese twins.
We're known as the Cheese Twins. We did work in cheese for a long time.
We ended up on the Great Food Truck Race. We were also asked to do our own pilot. I really enjoy touching cheese, smelling cheese, tasting it's great.
I don't think I'm gonna give up cheese.
So at the end of the week or so, you guys are going to be randomly assigned these 2 different diets. I want you to turn to your beloved sibling and look them in the eye and say, which one do I want least? And I know that's the one I'm going to get. And if you're not prepared to do the one you want the least, you can't sign up for the study. You can't switch later. We're taking a comprehensive approach to this study, looking at body composition, the epigenome or biological clock, the microbiome, and the brain.
This study is unique because no one's really attempted this before to see whether we can really change people's underlying biochemistry in just 8 weeks. And the twin model is the perfect way to do it. So I'm super excited to see these results.
This is one of my favorite pictures of us.
Even though it shows our underwear.
We were born in the Philippines, lived there until we immigrated to the United States.
Okay, bigay mo yung kwan sa akin, butter.
People think that Filipino food is a lot of pork.
No, well, that's here.
Wait, you're making us call it pork, which seems ubiquitous in the Filipino diet now. At one time, was prepared maybe once or twice a year, and that was a treat. Processed foods were introduced into the Philippine Islands around World War II. So that's why growing up, we ate foods that were not part of the Filipino person's diet. As an immigrant, there's so many health issues in the Filipino American community. We have heart disease, diabetes, something that I'm curious about, how much are our diets part of that?
On the study, I was told I really shouldn't be eating ice cream anyway. Oh, that's...
Everything in moderation, and you'll be in good shape.
Well, I'm team omnivore, so I'm not for the plant thing.
You don't want to try half of it, it's good. Now
Real meat is why people make fake meat, because real meat is good.
So for me, this study can help to also motivate people to change behavior.
There's this paradox that I come up against, which is we are excited to try new foods, we're eager to see what the best new restaurants are, and then that we're also stuck in our ways, that the American diet is what it is and we can't change. And to me, only one of those is true.
One of the most popular and convenient foods in the world is the American hot dog.
But there's a history in this country. There's a cultural reason for us to continue eating this way.
What you really need is food with protein in it. Food like eggs and milk and fish and meat. Remember my name, protein.
To understand a standard American diet, you really have to go back to sort of post-World War II, where a lot of Americans weren't qualifying for the military because they were too thin, they were undernourished. There's a huge push to get enough calories out there, be as efficient as we could. We saw a growing availability of convenience foods, a lot of low-cost food, which then started to morph into more and more processed and packaged foods.
Complete delicious dinner. Ate pretty good.
Delicious, like my own home cooking.
We saw the same thing with animal source foods: beef, pork, chicken, eggs, dairy products, cheese.
Choose cheese.
The animal agriculture sector industrialized using very production line model, and over time, factory farms took over to improve efficiency that decreased the cost of animal products and greatly increased the amount of animal products entering into people's diets.
The thought then was, how can we make a cheap, industrialized food system get people calories? And that was what fixed our food system the way it is right now. And we're at a critical point that if we do not change, this is going to affect us in ways that many Americans don't imagine.
When the federal dietary guidelines come out with their eat more messaging, they come out very clearly. Dietary guidelines say eat more fruits and vegetables. But what if you don't have access to fruits and vegetables?
You often see these areas of America where access to healthy, fresh foods is not available, and that's what creates these food deserts.
The first McDonald's that ever opened up in America was in San Bernardino. The people in San Bernardino, like the rest of the country, they eat the regular standard American diet. Lots of processed meats and lots of fat and oil. And with diabetes, heart disease, and dementia, the numbers are just astonishing and scary. But 5 miles away, right across Highway 10, you have Loma Linda. This population lives more than a decade longer and healthier than everyone else. I just want to repeat that, a decade.
Hey, Poppy.
And
Hey,
you
Mommy.
live a decade.
How am I supposed to? How am I supposed? How am I supposed to lift up my own weight even though I'm fat?
What?
How am I supposed to lift my own weight even though I'm fat?
What do you mean leaving your own weight?
Like pull-ups.
Because you need to exercise.
That wasn't
Well, can I do it now?
The environment's not much different. They get
What
the
you
same
can
water.
do now is do a sport. A sport help you exercise.
Like what type of sports? I
Any
don't
sport, like the sport at school.
like. I don't know what sport do I do.
You have to check which one you like, and you have to try.
They get the same air. But in Moringa, most of the population has access to healthy foods, such as vegetables, beans, legumes, and fruits. And because a lot of them are Seventh-day Adventists, the majority of them are vegetarians. And
There's
even
nothing
when
to
they're
do.
not, they eat meat sparingly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to Kaiju
Just 5 miles
Jores in
apart. The
5.0.
biggest difference is food. That's
Okay.
Today's an important day of the study. It's
So this
diet
is.
assignment day.
I've been playing this game a lot since it first got like
What if like one
released.
of us uses a ton away and the other doesn't? That'll make us less twin-like.
Let's go.
Alright, it's time for the diet assignment randomization reveal. Okay, your turn. You ready for this one?
I can taste the kale now.
3, 2, 1.
I feel relieved. I feel relieved. I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of feeling it for you though, but.
Who's next? Which one's Wendy?
I was really praying that I'd be on the omnivore diet. Omnivore diet, yeah. I was hoping to be on the omnivorous diet, only based on me being an evil twin wanting to torture my sister.
3, 2, 1.
Being on 2 different diets for the next 8 weeks, it's going to be a challenge on me based on the fact that it's not like my life stops. Exactly. My job continues. Yeah. And my job consists of making chicken. And I'm probably going to catch myself doing like putting meat and then probably having to spit it out because I'm going to remember like, oh damn, look, okay, I'm not supposed to.
You, but which of you is Javon? That's you? Okay.
I've never been on a plant-based diet. Chicken, definitely. Steak, love steak. Every time I bring it up, John's like, oh, I do either or, but like I really do hope I get a plant-based diet. I say I'm more excited than John.
Alright. 3, 2, 1.
You're right, we're gonna get the ones we get on.
Charlie. One of you is about to not have cheese for a while. 3, 2, 1.
Hey!
That's gonna be hard.
Giving up cheese for 8 weeks.
That'll be.
It will feel, in my world, like a bit of a sacrifice. Like, I love cheese.
I kind of wanted it enough to see. You wanted to, no, you
I kind of wanted to try. I did, but I didn't. Yeah.
I know someone's gonna come.
You know, it's so interesting about cheese that people can't give it up. I meet people all the time who say, I'm go vegan except for the cheese. Growing up in Japan, we didn't eat dairy because dairy was not a food that Japanese ate. In fact, the Japanese culture has never had dairy in it until after World War II. The first time I had dairy products, I remember that so well. I was 8 years old, and it was a birthday party, and we were going to have pizza. And I thought, if I eat this pizza, I can finally become an American. And I took a bite of this pizza, and I was just like, oh my God. It just was transformative. Cheese is something that speaks to the soul. There's something romantic about beautiful, oozy bries and camemberts that do something to you. All I ever really wanted in life was to be able to enjoy a bottle of great wine and some fancy cheese. And a good baguette as well, too. The reason for that is because it's biologically addictive. Cheese actually has something called casomorphin, which is a hormone that's released when casein, which is milk protein, breaks down in your body. And it's a feel-good hormone. So when you eat it, somehow you just feel high. And that's why all milk, apparently even we have it, because it puts babies to sleep, they're comforted, they feel good, and it makes it really hard to give up. The problem is that cheese is full of saturated fat.
The saturated fat that is found mostly in animal products can raise levels of blood cholesterol and clog your arteries. And this can put you at risk for diabetes and for heart disease.
Too much dairy consumption in general increases the risk of Parkinson's disease, increases the risk of prostate cancer.
This is why milk is meant for baby calves, it's not meant for us.
Drink your milk, kids. Well, Mr. Miller told me he never drinks milk.
The dairy industry spent decades trying to demonstrate dairy foods were not only good for you, but were absolutely essential in your diet, and that if you didn't eat dairy foods, you weren't going to be getting enough milk. The Milk Mustache campaign, that's the famous one. They got celebrities, sports figures, music figures to pose.
That never happened.
Mustache and kids.
Milk mustache. That never happened.
If you think about it, back when we were hunters and gatherers, we had to find an animal and hunt it down and kill it. Dairy products weren't available. And so I think that this is what part of the problem is now, that in our modern food society, we have meat and dairy in so many products, and something that in the abundance of which we're consuming, it's actually quite dangerous.
Americans have been estimated
Sorry if I was AFK.
100 pounds of chicken,
Okay,
and more
I'm
than
just
650
I'm just
pounds
looking
of
for
dairy
like
products
a
per person
the one
per year.
Oh.
It's really funny that people think that dairy is necessary because most people in the world, including Asians, are lactose intolerant. Also, it's really interesting because people today think that we have to eat meat or dairy to get protein. But if you think about it in the context of human history, you'll find that most populations did not eat meat or dairy, except in very, very small amounts, if at all.
My name is John, 22. My name is Javon, I'm 22. John has a really dark, rusty kind of voice. And I have like this slightly nasal, right? Brighter, boyish. Bright, I won't say boyish, but I've been described as stoic, quiet, a man of few words. I'm definitely more quiet than Javon. In high school, a lot of people would say they were scared to come up to John because of his face, but they weren't scared to come up to me, and that's an interesting thing to say to somebody who looks like that person. You know, I'm just laid back, I guess, and mean looking apparently. You know, they have a roof that looks like it's healed, but another one where about to graduate nursing school, and we work with older people who don't eat, you know, the way they should, and that's something that it would be a good thing to change. We do work out together. Our dad has been a mentor. He was a bodybuilder back in like the 80s, 90s, and he won a few competitions, which was really cool.
80% of bodybuilding is diet. Basically, it's high protein, high carb, low fat diet. You smell good? Go ahead, John, eat it. Y'all not doing it.
I have a short stature, very lean stature. My friends still refer to me as skinny, which is frustrating because I, put in almost 4 years of work now to, build myself the way I have.
Big Nabbit.
I don't
really
think that
hate
I
when
have the
people third party
appetite to
like
eat
that.
as much as I would need to in bulk.
Wow, that's incredible. Which one's your favorite pose?
And on top of that, I'll be eating vegan, so getting enough protein sounds pretty difficult.
Here's a really great pose. We can tell by these shots. That's awesome.
That's why I'm very excited to work with a trainer.
My name is Nimai Delgado. I am a professional bodybuilder and health coach that specializes in helping people build muscle and lose fat on a plant-based diet.
Champion Nimai.
I was born and raised into a lacto-vegetarian family, so I've never eaten meat. There's been a strong push in the media that has convinced people that you cannot get adequate protein, you cannot get adequate nutrition without eating dairy. But there's been about 15,000 people that have come through my programs. And about the 2 to 3 week mark, they'll start to noticeably feel different in their energy levels, in their ability to get better quality sleep, maybe even in their sex life. But
Oh, ¿qué tiene que ver esto?
Alright.
Dios.
What's wrong? What's wrong? No, tell me, what's wrong? Okay, I see a crowd of people fighting. I don't know which victim do I have to do. Like, it might be that sort of good reason. Like, here's the thing. Whenever I'm ever playing a game, like, I always be like just being AFK and oh god, there's a freaking Mecha Godzilla. And I just gotta challenge him to a fight. Too late. He's fighting a person. Oh god, this is not good.